We are back in Győr for the second game of the day, the bronze medal game in the men's tournament, the one between Ukraine and Serbia. So if they are playing here today, it's because they were not successful to qualify for the final, but still they will be seeking for a medal, and Ukraine is looking forward to do at least as good as the women's did just before, to secure the bronze medal before flying back home. It will be against Serbia. Ukraine lost yesterday in the semi-final against Germany. Serbia lost against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Well, let's say in this men's tournament, there is no surprise in the final. Bosnia and Herzegovina will take on Germany. And you see, Ukraine will play in yellow, Serbia in blue. And before losing into the semi-final, Ukraine did not lose a single game here in Győr. I guess they are quite favorites in this game. Serbia, on the other hand, lost 2 games during the pool stage against the 2 finalists, Germany and Bosnia and Herzegovina. So let's say Ukraine is maybe a light favorite, especially if we look at what happened in the past, especially in Kaole for 2 years. Ukraine finished on the podium 3rd. Serbia finished only 7th there, which is already a good performance for them this week here in Hungary. And in addition, we mentioned it already a couple of times, with the previous games, Ukraine played last summer into the Paralympics in France. They have the experience at that level, and of course, they want to secure a medal before going back home. It's the second game of today's schedule. You know exactly what will happen later today. We will switch into the 2 finals. The women's final first between the Netherlands and Italy. And then the last game of this week here in Hungary between Germany and Bosnia and Herzegovina for some kind of revenge after Bosnia won the Golden Nations League a couple of days ago, 3-2. But this will be for later today. Let's focus on this game between Ukraine and Serbia. Both teams have, of course, very good players. Ukraine was the best scorer, the captain Denis Bychenko. I mean, he played well yesterday again against Germany, but the German side was just too strong with an amazing Dominik Albrecht. And for Serbia, well, they were facing Bosnia and Herzegovina, but what can we say? Playing against Bosnia in sitting volleyball is just so difficult. And in the recent history, only the Islamic Republic of Iran found the solution against them. They won silver last year at the Paralympic Games. And it's so hard to beat them. Serbia did a good job yesterday. They even forced Bosnia and Herzegovina to play almost with the same starting 6 and the top players on court. I say almost because Delalic only played 1 set, but Jusufovic had to come back in, and they forced Bosnia and Herzegovina to take a timeout. I don't have all statistics on that, but could be that this was the first timeout for Bosnia in the entire competition. Serbia will fight till the very end, and if we remember that Serbia was almost struggling to get out of the pool stage of this Group B, they had to play this game against Latvia. And remember, if Latvia was winning the game, they had a chance to qualify, and Serbia to be playing for position 9-12. They are finally into the best 4 teams of that competition, and that's a huge achievement for them, because they were not even playing in the Golden Nations League this year. They were in Caen in France for the Silver Nations League. They finished 3rd. Not exactly with the same roster, because they traveled to Hungary with 14 players, which was not the case in France. Some of them were missing, and some of them are in the starting 6 this week here in Győr. They are only ranked 6 in Europe, so this will be a step for Serbia, which is a very experienced player, because they only have 1 player in its 20s. It's Aleksandar Đurić. best server of the Serbian team. And for Ukraine, a lot of experience, a lot of players used to this international medal games. Of course, we mentioned the captain, Denis Bichenko, but we have a lot around him. Oleksiy Khachlamov, Roman Prishchepa, Horyakin and Korinets, Maxim Petrenchuk, the VS2 player that we saw yesterday on court, and a lot of option on the bench. That's the case for both teams. They will have some solutions coming from the bench in case things do not go as planned. If you were with us just before for the game between Slovenia and Ukraine, bronze medal game in the women's tournament, there is a big difference in this game. We will have a libero on both sides of the net. Actually, Serbia has two. Borislav Gajic, number 2, and Radomir Bojic, the captain, number 4, will wear the red jersey. And Ukraine also play with the libero, with Yuri Kovalchuk. He was just sitting next to me at the end of the game of his countrymates from Ukraine before. And they were supporting Ukraine to get the bronze medal. Of course, it might be the same now. Probably the Ukrainian women's team will also be in the stands after shower and after lunch. And I'm sure if you're watching the action, you will be supporting your favorite team. You can just send your support in the chat area on the Paravolley Europe YouTube channel. I'm super happy to have you with us connected for this day 6 of competition of this 2025 European Championships. We still have some ranking games on the other court of the venue. Croatia is taking on Poland on court number 3, men's tournament. And it's just over between Turkey and the Netherlands on court number 1. A victory for Turkey, 3-2 after they were led 2-0. Great finish for Turkey here. A couple more minutes of warm-up on this court number 2. Balls are flying almost everywhere. We have to be really careful during warm-up because it comes really strong. I mentioned the best server for Serbia, Aleksandar Đurić. The best for Ukraine is Roman Prishchepa. The two teams are close to their bench, ready to come on court. We see Ukraine with a lot of smile. Serbia pretty focused on what they have to do. They will just line up close to the court before coming in. And here we are. Ukraine against Serbia. It's the bronze medal game in the men's tournament.
This is the match number 45 for the men's bronze medal between the national team of Ukraine and
45th game of the competition in the men's tournament. And we will go to the national anthems.
At first, the national anthem of Ukraine.
And let's start with the national anthem of Ukraine.
anthem of Serbia.
Now, national anthem of Serbia. Well, both national anthems have been played here in the Győr University venue. Everything is set. The traditional handshake between the two teams, between the two staff members as well. While for sure they know each other. They didn't play in the same Nations League this year, but it's not the first time they meet. Ukraine won the last games against Serbia. We mentioned it. They are favorite for this bronze medal game. But we already saw a lot of surprise in this event. And we'll see if Ukraine is able to do the same in the men's tournament than what they did in the women's, winning bronze. And we'll have first informations pretty soon with the starting six, just after the introduction of the two international referees. They are just coming on court now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the international referees of the match. Please welcome the first referee, Mr. Harry Selac from Bosnia and Herzegovina.
First referee, Harry Selac from Bosnia and Herzegovina. He will be assisted by the Italian guy, Christian Battisti. Once again, two very experienced referees, two very experienced teams on court.
With number one at first, the starting lineup of Ukraine.
And we'll start with the starting six of Ukraine. Number one, Ruslan Oryakin. Number two, Yevgeny Korinets. The captain, number five, Denis Bytchenko. Number seven, Maxim Petrenchuk. Number eight, Roman Prishepa. And number 17, Oleksiy Harlamov. Libero for Ukraine. Number 10, Yuri Kovalchuk. That's their strongest starting six, the one they had yesterday in the semi-final. This was not enough to beat Germany, but it's the strongest side of Ukraine on court today. For Serbia, Aleksandar Djuric, number one. Zoran Jesic, number three. He started as a libero. He's now wearing the regular jersey. Goran Ristic, number seven. Enis Mujic, the best scorer, with his number 11. Aleksandar Cvijanovic, number 15. And Dragisha Zoric, one of the good blockers of this team, with his number 17. The first libero for Serbia will be the captain, Radomir Bojic. As well, Serbia puts the expected starting six on court. The one that started yesterday into the semi-final against Bosnia and Herzegovina was the same outcome. It was not enough to defeat Bosnia and Herzegovina, but good enough to have a decent game, a decent performance against this amazing team of Bosnia that we will see later today. You see the two rosters again, this one for Serbia, led by Mladen Stevic. And you will discover the players on court if you haven't seen them so far into the week. You will see that these guys are playing at a very high level of sitting volleyball, and they are fighting for bronze. The first serve of the game will be for Serbia, and they will start with their best server, Aleksandar Djuric. Strong serve to start with. Blocked by Horyakin. Petrenchuk blocked by Mujic. Harlamov. Great dig, Serbia. Roman Prishepa for the first point of the game. He was sitting there in position 2. Petrenchuk got blocked. They tried another option with Prishepa. And he's now the man in charge of the serve. Deep behind Zvijanovic. Ball is called in. And this will be the first challenge for Serbia. Well, the question is super easy. Is the ball in or out? On-court call is in, which would mean first ace for Roman Prishepa, the best server of this Ukrainian side. Let's see if this video challenge is successful or not for Serbia. Oh, the ball is out for just a couple of centimeters. Good call by Mladen Stevic to use a video challenge so early into this first set. And the correction, 1-0, and is Mujic. Petrenchuk, the back set for Butchenko. Good block, Ristic. And Petrenchuk finds a solution through the middle. His first point of the game. Ruslan Horyakin, oldest player of this selection alongside Harlamov, who is 47 years old. Good cover by Butchenko. Ristic blocks him again. And a lifting called against Serbia. And Aleksandar Zvijanovic. For the moment, Ristic is able to block Butchenko. I mean, we saw him able to spike a lot stronger, but for the moment, he was not in perfect positions to do so. Zoric in front of two blockers. The lucky dig for Ukraine. Too long from Ruslan Horyakin. And Ristic is the on-court captain when Bojic is sitting on the bench, which happens sometimes when you're a libero, that you have to leave the court. Jesic tried to block it. And the lifting call against Zoran Jesic. Well, of course he's not happy with the call, but it's not very often that players are happy with such calls. Sometimes they know it, but I don't want to admit. Anyway, this point is for Ukraine. Too long for Maxim Petrenchuk. Butchenko blocked again. Then he tries to set it for Harlamov. Zvijanovic self-covering. Bojic for Zvijanovic. Good block. Yevgeny Horinets. But for the moment, we have very good blocks on both sides of the net. Butchenko did not find the solution in the front row. Zvijanovic blocked again. Prishepa, one more block. They have to go over the block. Harlamov, high ball for Prishepa. Jesic gives the free ball to Ukraine. And Prishepa with the block out. And again, we saw in that rally Very good blocking actions on both sides of the net. And Przyczepa found the solution with the block out. Back set for Mujic from the back row. A lifting is called against Roman Przyczepa. Well, they know how important block will be today. Good reception, Petrenchuk. Roman Przyczepa. Mujic with the tip. Harlamov was looking for the line, a bit too greedy on that angle. Good fight at the net. Korinets stronger as Győr. And a bit higher as well. He was able to maintain the ball on the Serbian side. And Ukraine has a short lead in this first set, 7 points to 5. Good reception. The back set for Enis. Mujic finds a solution on the block out. Well, if the blocks are so good, trying to look for the block out will be a good idea. Mujic did it perfectly on that swing. Jesic. Good serve. This ball will not come back. Ace for Serbia. And this is an equalizer for them. 7-all. Good reception, Vichenko. Przyczepa faked the spike and tipped it. Győr played this ball on the other side of the net. Korinets. Good reception, Bojic. Zoric dig. Przyczepa full sent it on Mujic. He was not quite at the net, a bit late to come there, because there was also the option for Petrenchuk into the middle, so Mujic had to stay in front of the Ukrainian middle blocker. Ricic for the reception, Győr for Dragisa, Zoric. Ball is pulled out. And this will be a challenge for Serbia. The first challenge they took was successful. The question is about any kind of block touch from Ukraine. Well, they were pretty sure, and they were getting ready to go for the third. And when they saw the Onko decision, Mladen Stevic did not hesitate a single second. Block touch, yes. This point is for Serbia. And this is a huge change from 10-7 to Ukraine. We're back to 9-8 for Ukraine. Only a 1-point lead for the team in yellow. Győr, Harlamov with a direct return. And then Mujic not able to do better. Another point for Ukraine. Lifting call against Serbia. Mujic not having the best start in this game for the moment. Butchenko, almost a free ball, but Bojic is struggling. This ball was very short in the middle of the court. No one was able to dig and to cover that area. Bojic was too deep into the court. The timeout for Serbia. This is 4-point lead for Ukraine. At some point, Serbia found the equalizer 7-all. But Ukraine is now on a 5-1 streak in this first set, with the best scorer on court being Roman Prishepa with 4 points. I mean, he got a lot of opportunities. And you always find a solution between strong into the block, finding some block out. To 8 for Ukraine. Prishepa for the serve. Mujic digged by Korinec. Horyakin. Oh, a lifting called against Ruslan Horyakin. This point is for Serbia. Always good to score. Coming back from the timeout. And is Mujic. Petrenko cannot do better than just touching the ball with one finger. Well done. Goran Ristic. I think this might be his first point of the game. Yes, it is. And Serbia is only 2 behind. Too long for Mujic. Yeah, he only scored 2 today. He's normally the best scorer of this team. He was part of the team playing the Silver Nations League earlier this year. This was end of June in France, Normandy. An event that Hungary won, but not exactly with the same team than the one they had, because of the specific regulations of Silver Nations League, where you can put non-classified player on court. Well, if I'm right, if I had a good look at the ranking, they were still able to secure their spot in the next European Championship A. The 3 team going to B division will be France, Latvia, and Italy. These 3 teams will have to go through the B division next year again if they want to have a spot in the European Championship 2027. Jesic, good block. Butchenko, the back set. Great monster block by Alexander Zvijanovic. Front of Petrenchuk. Butchenko takes the set again. Petrenchuk, no touch by the block. This ball is just out, and Petrenchuk is struggling to score, but there will be a challenge called by Ukraine. Oh, the challenge is not about the block, but about the net touch. Is there a net touch by Alexander Zvijanovic? That's the question. Pavlo Miklik use the device to request this video challenge. We'll have the result pretty soon on the screen. Christian Battisti is waiting as well. Well, they're checking the screen to get the best view on that decision. Have the best call possible. Is there any net touch? No. Well, the net is moving. So the ball is not touching the net. But the net is moving. Well, this was quite obvious that it is moving, but as you know, it can be moving with the legs. Well, the call will stay. Point for Serbia. They are only one behind. Petchenko, lucky block by Jesic. Khachlamov finds the solution. Ristic was not closing the line. Oh, and this, he got this spike. Oh, his little finger. This is pretty painful. We had the one French guy from the French team being injured like this at practice just before the tournament started. The finger basically completely went out of its position. Things are fine for Ristic. He's on court. Touched by the block. A catch called against Vijanovic. And again, Ukraine is able to create a small gap. Jesic out, Popovic in to increase a bit the block height against Petrenchuk. Mujic from the back row. I have the feeling Kowalczyk was trying to avoid the ball. Directly into Kowalczyk's head. The service too long for Goran Ristic. Well, at some point, if Serbia wants to fight back into this first set, they will have to be able to have some good serve to score some break points. And Jesic is back in to take the set. But first, reception on Petchenko's serve. Bojic. Vijanovic. Well, not only he finds the block out, but there is also a lifting call against Ukraine and Khachlamov. And a substitution for Serbia with Alexander Ljubicic in for Alexander Djuric. That's a substitution we saw yesterday already and in the previous days. Lifting against Vijanovic while serving. Wow, that's almost the first time we saw that decision, but apparently that's the case. You can lift while serving, true. And then Djuric is back in.
Number 1, Alexander Djuric.
Khachlamov. Good serve, Djuric for the set. Mujic digged by Khachlamov. Jesic. Horyakin. And that's a catch called against Serbia. And this will be second timeout of this first set for Serbia, as the gap is increasing again. A 4-point lead for Ukraine now. And the best scorer on court is still Roman Prishepa, but he didn't score a lot recently. He still has only 4 points. And Serbia had three players with 3 points. Enis Mujic, Aleksandar Cvijanovic and Dragiša Zoric. And surprisingly, Ukraine still did not score a single ace in this game. We know they are serving pretty good, but what this means as well, that Serbia is well organized when it comes to the reception. The last 2 times these teams met, Serbia was not able to take a single set to Ukraine. 2 victories, 3 sets to 0 during the Golden Nations League 2024 and during the European Championship in Caorle. This was in 2023. Pretty sure Serbia is looking forward to at least do better today. Not quite sure they have a chance to beat Ukraine, but they can give them some hard time. Harlamov. The lifting is called against Djuric, while he was facing Roman Prishepa. And the Serbian captain is called by Haris Elac. Radomir Bojic. I couldn't see if Mladen Stevic had some excessive reaction on that call. $20 for Ukraine, 15 for Serbia. Mujic into the Ukrainian block. Oh, he finds a solution. The set was not the easiest one. The ball was a bit too much into the antenna, but he finally tipped it over the block and into the court. 20-16 for Ukraine. Zoran Jesic. Bichenko struggles with the reception. Not quite sure they made a decision if Bichenko or Harlamov take it. This was in the interval between the 2 players. Great block. Dragiša Zoric in front of Prishepa. And again, Serbia is slightly coming back into this first set. And here is the first time out for Ukraine. They still have a 2-point lead. They don't want to see Serbia coming back. Actually, Serbia played a good semi-final yesterday against Bosnia and Herzegovina. The difference between the 2 teams was just too big. But they already had a good run into that one. And they play without any pressure since they reached the quarterfinals. They're doing really good. There was a lot of pressure around this last game of the pool stage against Latvia, because Serbia did not have the perfect start into that competition. Of course, they won on Monday morning against the Netherlands 3-1, but that in the evening they had this marathon game against Italy, and they were forced to play a tie break against Italy, only a 3-2 victory. And against Latvia, we were close to go till the points ratio to know who will qualify. They finally secured the win 3-1 to get their ticket into the quarter. But since then, they play without any pressure, being into the top 8. It's probably what Serbia aimed when they traveled to here And they will have this 19th point. They are only one behind. Well, this could be the moment if Zoran Jesic can do a bit more again with his serve. Say Maria Harlamov, difficult. Bytchenko from the back row. It's enough for the Ukrainian captain. He scores. It was a good swing. Dragisha Zoric. This ball is out. 22 for Ukraine, 19 for Serbia. Svijanovic for the reception. Oh, Moic wanted to tip it. He was just super greedy. He wanted to have it just behind the net. Well, that's a free point for Ukraine, and they are only 2 points away from taking this first set. Juric. Zoric. Monster block, Maxim Petrenchuk. Zoric was too far away from the net. And Ukraine, with their timeout, they pushed hard. And they have now a 5-point lead. 5 set points for them on Yevgeny Korinets' serve. Ace for Ukraine. Zvijanovic is not able to receive that ball, and Ukraine takes the first set of this bronze medal game. 1-0 for Ukraine against Serbia. Set number 2 between Ukraine and Serbia will be underway in a few seconds. Let's have a look on the starting 6 of both teams. No change for Ukraine. What about Serbia? Apparently not. They go with the same starting 6. Petrenko for the set. Bychenko with his left hand. That's not his main, but he's able to swing with both sides, and he's having a huge smile on his face. Love to see the Ukrainian captain having fun on the court. He's also a funny lad outside of the court. He was having fun earlier today with Kowalczuk, watching the action of his countrymates. Second point for Ukraine. And here's the first point for Serbia in this second set. Well, it will be good for them to have a quick reaction in that game if they want to stay alive. Just out. 3-1 Ukraine. A good set with the connection with Coric through the middle. It's not easy to connect with such a low ball. You have to perfectly know the timing of your teammate. Mojic blocked by Kalamov. Ristic could make it with his shoulder. And the point is for Serbia, a lifting call. Well, this is funny because this is not a lifting at the net. It's Korinets who is sitting into the back row. Great serve. And it's Mojic to give Serbia our first lead in the second set. No one takes the reception. Well, that's probably Kowalczuk's job to cover that area. The libero is sitting in 6. Monster block, Dragica, Coric. Bychenko digged by Bojic. Again, a third time Bojic. And finally, Ukraine is able to put the ball on the front. No! The lifting is called against Harlamov. But the triple dig from Bojic, that point, that was crazy. Bychenko was almost stopping play. Svijanovic gives a free ball to Ukraine. He has one more chance here. Great dig. Bychenko. That's difficult to read because he goes for a full swing and he just touches it to get the spinning one in between the two blockers. Free ball Ukraine. Harlamov for Bychenko, a great dig again. Svijanovic covered by Bojic. Bychenko, good block out. While Ukraine is hitting stronger now. But Serbia is just so good digging. And it's Mujic from the back row. Harlamov touched it. And this prevents Petrenchuk from digging it. That's a good point for Enis Mujic from the back row. Warbichenko. He saw some blue jersey jet there on the bench. He got to his full power. I think he was hoping to touch like some hand at the block. Another unforced for Korinets. And Serbia has a 4-point lead in this second set. And this will be a timeout for Ukraine. Well, we mentioned that Serbia, of course, will fight till the very end. They lost the first one 25-19. But they are now in front in this second one. A 4-point lead, 9 points to 5. And Ukraine is definitely not used to this. They had a very good tournament so far. Of course, they lost one set against Croatia in their opening game on Monday morning. Sometimes you just need to warm up to get into the competition. But then, 3-0 against Poland, 3-0 against Hungary, 3-0 against France, 3-0 against Turkey, into the quarterfinal, 3-0 against the Netherlands. I know the Netherlands had some set point at some moment in this quarterfinals, but every time Ukraine was able to conclude the work without losing a single set since the first game against Croatia. Yesterday, Germany was a lot stronger in the semi-final. Well, the set is far away from being over. It's only a 4-point lead for Serbia. Pavlo Miklik took a timeout to stop the streak and help his team to get the side out. Petchenko blocked. He sets it for Harlamov. Easy defense for Mujic. And with his left arm again, what a cover from Serbia. This point is for Serbia. 4-touch. Petchenko tried to surprise Ukraine.
Video challenge requested by Ukraine. The subject of the challenge is 4-touch.
And they will request some kind of video challenge on this one. Well, they want to know if someone touched the ball at the block or if it was only the net. Well, from my position, I have the feeling it was 4-touch from the Ukrainian guys. We'll have the answer pretty soon. If there was some forearm in the way touching the ball at the same time. Block touch, yes or no? Yes, there is. And this point has to be played again. Because the game was stopped by the referee's call. Good challenge by Ukraine. Well, it's never easy to see this at the real speed. Dragisha, Zoric. Petchenko. Strong swing and the lifting called again. Zoran Jesic. Cvijanovic in front of 3 blockers. He's able to make it. The on-court decision is out. And there will be a challenge this time for Serbia.
Video challenge requested by Serbia.
They were quite sure the ball is in. We'll have the result on the screen pretty soon. You will have it back home as well. The spectators here in Győr will have it on the big screen. In or out. Well, it was not even close. And they are smiling with that video challenge because it was not even close from the line. Good reflex by Ukraine. And to block there behind Przyczepa. Well done, Ukraine, on Bychenko's serve. And substitution for Serbia. The one we saw already in the first set. Dragan Popovic in for Jesic. Popovic will party for birthday tomorrow. He will turn 51. This is a catch called against Serbia. Good reception. Zvijanovic. This ball is out again. No challenge that time from Serbia. But the timeout, because Ukraine is in front. $10.9 for Ukraine in this second set. Well, Ukraine is already back in this second set. They were led by 4, if not 5. Earlier in that set, they took a timeout. Things are going much better since then. Boyd struggles with the reception. And a double touch called against Ristic there. They have to be more accurate with their reception. Well, let's say Bychenko is a very good server for Ukraine. And he's changing the area very easily. Petrenchuk over Przyczepa. Ristic. Well done by Harlamov and Horyakin, but the second time is the good one for Serbia to score the point. And to finally get the side out. Good fight at the net, but Korinets had to do a catch there. Well, that's a good job by Juric, because his block height is lower than Korinets. And again, Juric gets that head-to-head. And Bychenko has a discussion with Haris Helac. I don't know what's the discussion about. This ball is out. I have no idea what Zbychenko was asking to Haris Helac. I couldn't see anything not being regular. But anyway, 12-all. Horyakin does not find the solution. This ball is out. (13 for Serbia. Again, they take the lead. And Pavel Miklik came out from his bench to be closer from his players. Popovic, no one on the trajectory. This ball is just out. 13-all. Petrenchuk, this block is in. Well played, Ukraine. Horyakin. Just too strong for Bosmuic and Juric. And Ukraine creating a new 2-point gap into this set number 2. Ristic struggling with the reception. Muic digged. And Petrenchuk, small tip just over Juric. And Ukraine is getting stronger and stronger in this second set. They have a 3-point lead. And Mladen Stevic takes his second timeout of the set. Well, we have the feeling when Ukraine was led in this second set, each time they decided to push a bit harder, to serve a bit stronger, to hit the ball just a bit harder, it was enough to put Serbia into trouble. But if they don't go full speed, if they don't play their A game, then Serbia will have a chance. Because maybe Serbia is not that strong than Ukraine can be, but they will fight and they will take each opportunity to score points till the very end of the game. Yesterday against Bosnia, they did not give up, even led 2 sets in all. They were still fighting, looking for solutions to give hard time to their opponent, and they will do the same today, trust me. Back set for Muic, he was far away outside of the antenna. I guess this ball is in. No, the point is for Serbia. Well, this one didn't land close. Oh, there will be a video challenge. Yeah, I have the feeling this ball definitely landed on the line. The request is ball in or ball out, of course. I really have the feeling, because I'm just behind that line, that it landed on the line or very close to it, if not on, but very close. The answer in a few seconds. We'll call Ukraine captain. So the challenge is not working. Apparently, they cannot find any picture. So the on-court decision will stay, and it will be point for Serbia. Well, we will never see where this ball landed. Serbia will not complain. I mean, the video challenge is a great addition, but if it doesn't work, we cannot do a lot more. For sure it will work again for the next challenge. Serbia has 14, Ukraine has 16. And Zoran Jesic will be the next one to serve. Petchenko, good reception in front of Khachlamov. Solution for Petrenchuk, just to tip it over Djuric. And Cvijanovic too far away to be able to have a proper dig on that one. Prishepa. Great serve. No one was expecting him to go there, and Djuric could just touch it, but he got surprised. 18 for Ukraine, 14 for Serbia. Not a great serve. Dragiša, Zoric. Well done over Horinets. No, it was over Horjakinen in front of Korinets. Substitution for Serbia. As Bajic in, tried to have some block or counter block first. Kowalczuk, great reception. Petchenko. Mojic called for the lifting. Petchenko, when we saw how his swing, of course he was going to full send it. That's not the point for Ukraine. Ristic is back in. There's a video challenge called by Ukraine for a net touch.
Video challenge requested by Ukraine. The subject of the challenge is net touch.
We'll wait for the substitution. Popovic was it Popovic or Ljubicic ready to come in for Cvijanovic? Maybe Ljubicic. This will probably depend on the result, the outcome of this video challenge. Net touch, yes or no? The challenge is called by Ukraine. Onside decision is point for Serbia. The call stands. Mojic. (16 for Serbia, 19 for Ukraine. Petchenko for the set. Khachlamov blocked by Ljubicic. And that's exactly the reason of the substitution. Ljubicic is requested to score a block, and that's exactly what he did. His first point of the game. Serbia is 2 behind. No one to take this second ball contact. Kowalczuk had the reception, and then Petchenko moved away. He was expecting Petrenchuk to take it. And with Serbia fighting back and being only 1 behind, it's the second time call by Pavlo Miklik. Seri Ovcharuk taking this time out to give some advices. I had the feeling after each timeout Ukraine was able to come back stronger on court. They still have a 1-point lead. So they should be able to find the solution in this second set. They won the first one 25-19. And this last point that Serbia scored, it's all about Ukraine miscommunication or misorganization to decide who will take the second set. On this high reception, because Kowalczyk did well. Mujic will try to put some more pressure on Ukraine. Kowalczyk again. Vichenko in front of three blockers. He finds the block out on Ljubicic. Petrenchuk. Oh, great dig. Not enough control by Korinets, but he was well positioned. And good job by Serbia, because this ball was a lot to the outside. Zoric. Vichenko blocked by Ljubicic. An equalizer for Serbia, and there is no more timeout, neither for Ukraine, no for Serbia. We'll go like that till the end. Each team has one video challenge remaining. Free ball Serbia. Ljubicic blocked. Ristic gives a deep ball to Ukraine. Another free ball for Serbia. Well done. Goran Ristic faked the set and went for the swing between Khachlamov and Kohinets. No one was waiting Ristic to do this. His 5th point of the game. Zoric. Oh, just a bit too long. And Stevic went to show him maybe 10 or 15 centimeters too long. That's not a lot, especially when you know that the depth of the court is only 5 meters on each side. Vichenko. Ljubicic blocked by Prishepa. He comes out at the right moment. We did not see the oldest Prishepa brother for a long time. He gives the lead to Ukraine again. Zvijanovic is back in. Vichenko is able to serve everywhere. Tactical one on Juric. Jesic blocked. Free ball Ukraine. Petrenchuk for Khachlamov. Jesic cannot do better on that dig. And with that 2-point lead, Ukraine is getting closer and closer from this second set. Vichenko again. Ristic digged. Korinets gives the free ball to Serbia. Zvijanovic, another great block by Prishepa. And we mentioned that Ukraine can just push a bit harder when they need. That's exactly what they did. And they have now 3 set points in this set number 2. Boyd for the reception. Mujic. This ball stays on the Serbian side. And Ukraine, without playing at their best level, just do what they need to do to have a 2-set lead in this bronze medal game. 2-0 for Ukraine in this bronze medal game against Serbia. And for the moment, Ukraine has the advantage in this game. If you're just joining, the women's team from Ukraine secured bronze earlier today, defeating Slovenia. The men's are looking forward to do the same, and they are well positioned in this game. 2-0. But Serbia really played well in this second one. We had a strong Roman Prishepa at the end of the set, 2 times blocking the action and scoring his 8th and 9th point of the game. He's the best scorer on court today. Same starting 6 for Ukraine. The same for Serbia. Well, if Serbia is still hoping to be on the podium later today, they absolutely need to win this third one, and they will get it underway with Alexander Djuric. Too much angle on that serve. And of course, if you are following the action with us, you already know the schedule, but I will give it to you one more time. After this game, we will go into the gold medal game in the women's tournament between the Netherlands and Italy, just before the final game of Youth European Championships, the men's final between Germany and Bosnia and Herzegovina. And of course, later today, we are getting more and more information on the schedule and the closing ceremony that you will be able to follow live as well, with the different podiums, individual awards, and the traditional speeches of officials here in Győr, Hungary. 2-1 Ukraine. Ruslan Horyakin. Aiming at Mujic. Jesic gives a deep ball to Ukraine. Harlamov in between Zvijanovic and Ristic. Not quite sure Ristic decided to go at the block. He was maybe too late, facing Maxim Petranchuk. It's really difficult to know which player will get the ball. They have 3 very good hitters at the net now. Ristic, the back set for Zvijanovic. It's far away. A lifting call against Zvijanovic makes sense. The ball was too much to the outside, and he needed to leave the floor to be able to play that ball. Mujic, center of the court dig. Butchenko. Does it get any stronger swing? And you see the women's team from Ukraine in the stands. Of course, they are hoping to fly back with double bronze. And it's in a good way for Ukraine in this third set with a 5-1 lead and the first timeout called by Serbia. And we already have both the Dutch team of the Netherlands and Italy around in the venue. While the Netherlands are watching the action for the moment behind the court, Italy are starting to go through some light stretching on court number 1. The action is over now on court 3 and court 1. Everyone will have their eyes focused on this center court, this court number 2. Let's see if Serbia can have a reaction, can find some solution. And we are almost always repeating the same, but it will start with a good reception on Horyakin's serve. Ukraine number 1 is ready. Bojic. Bit low reception, but then Zvijanovic is able to optimize that set from Ristic. Good to be able to score just after the timeout. Serbia will put Zoric in front of Bichenko. Again, they have three very strong players in the front row. Harlamov, Zvijanovic, good cover by Mujic. Bichenko, strong into Zvijanovic's block. Ristic able to put that ball just on the other side of the net, in between the net and the Ukrainian blockers. Difficult ball for Ukraine, and Serbia is fighting. They try their best to come back into this third set. Only 2 points behind, 4-6. Ristic a bit too greedy. Bichenko. Great serve. One arm dig, too easy for the Ukrainian captain. The block from Kharlamov. Petrenchuk covers. Free ball Serbia. Zvijanovic over the block. And Horjakin was close to get that pancake. But Bichenko had a crazy dig with one arm. It's not about this, but the control he had, the ball stayed into the play. Touching the ball is not difficult, but keeping it with so much control, this is difficult. Is this ball in? Absolutely not. I think Mujic blocked the ball out. Well, they will challenge the call. Oh, the call is in or out. I was quite sure from my position it was out, but maybe I'm completely wrong. He was showing the area, and apparently he's dead sure the ball landed into the orange color of the court. We'll see the result in a few seconds. Video challenge for Serbia. The first call on court was the good one. Point for Ukraine. Bichenko doesn't want some mopping action. He wants to know the position, who has to serve. Indeed, it's Alexei Harlamov's turn to serve. Haris Selac thought he wanted some mopping. And he said, no, I don't want someone to come to mop. I want to know who has to serve. Just out. Serbia is 2 behind. Dragiša, Zoric. Oh, this will be after the video challenge. No, it's displayed on the big screen, video challenge, but no one requested it. Good block, Serbia. Mujic. A lifting called against him. Well, of course, Serbia is not happy, and the on-court captain, Ristic, will have some discussion with Haris Selac. This will be a yellow card for Mladen Stevic, the head coach of Serbia, for overreacting. to that decision. And anyway, we cannot challenge the lifting, we cannot do anything, and there is no reason why the referees would change it. So they're just losing energy and focus on the next point. Mojic tried to block it, and Serbia is a bit losing the momentum they had. 4-point lead again for Ukraine. Oh, well done, Juric, to surprise Prishepa. He had a quick look on the other side of the net. He saw that no one was covering their position for the Ukrainian side. And this is only Juric's second point today. Jesic with the help of the net. Petrenchuk to score. Well, Juric didn't find the solution with his serve today. He used to be the best server for Serbia this entire week here in Győr. But today, still no ace for him. On Bichenko's head. He was missing some helmet to protect. Well, at least he's having fun. And always some smile, whatever the situation is. That's really cool to see him on court. What a strong swing. It just comes so suddenly. It's so hard to dig, even if you're well positioned. How do you want to have any kind of control on such a swing? Mojic. Reception a bit low. Jesic has to give this free ball to Ukraine. Khachlamov. Where's the tip? Juric was covering. But couldn't make it to have a first good contact. Another point for Ukraine. 14-8. And a substitution to come for Serbia. Ljubicic in for Jesic. Well, they will try to change something because the gap is increasing. A 6-point lead for Ukraine in this third set. And Ukraine leads 2-0. Serbia absolutely needs to win this set. Great save, Kowalczuk. And another point for Ukraine, block out. Well, Serbia has one more timeout. If Ukraine wins this point, I'm pretty sure Mladen Stevic will activate that option to stop the game. Oh, he will not need. This ball ended in Kharamov's head after touching the net. Bit of flag for Ristic. And they reverse the substitution with Jesic back in for Ljubicic. He will be in charge of the next serve of this bronze medal game. Petrenchuk for Khachlamov. Mishit it. It is not easy for him. He was not completely under the ball. Still moving while hitting. And this is absolutely not easy to have any control in that situation. Jesic. Serve is just out. Just deep into the court. but a bit too deep. Ukraine has a 6-point lead on Petrenchuk's serve. Good reception by Bojic. High ball for Zoric. Block out. Evgeny Korinets not able to have a good enough block. And they will change. They will put Bychenko in front of Zoric. Bychenko, the block out. 17 for Ukraine, 11 for Serbia. While when he decides to go with his full power, it's super difficult to either block or dig. They did it pretty successfully in the first set, but since then, Bychenko is quite scoring a lot. Lifting against Prishepa. Yeah, Bychenko is the best scorer for Ukraine. Best scorer on court now. 13 points for the Ukrainian captain. He was already the best scorer before the game, and he has 13 more points today. Korinets plays this ball on the other side of the net. Back set for Harlamov. Mujic able to self-cover himself. He gives a free ball to Ukraine. Another chip. Great dig, Serbia. Zoric. Lifting call against the number 17 from this Serbian roster. And Ukraine is getting closer and closer from the bronze medal. This ball in. No, but it's touched by the Ukrainian block. Prishepa confirms it. While the deal is easy for Serbia, they will need some serve streak. Why not? Dragisha Zoric is able to serve well on Harlamov. Set for Korinets. Good dig. Free ball Serbia, but no one takes this ball contact. Or maybe Zoric didn't make quite the decision either to send it to Mujic or to Győr, and it finished into the net. Well, that's a shame to have such an unforced on a free ball. Korinets. Serve on Bojic. Győr tries to put it directly on the other side of the net. Just out. The idea was really good, but he did not realize it properly. 20 for Ukraine, 14 for Serbia, and the second timeout called by Mladen Stevic in this third set. Well, I will not speak about any miracle, but Serbia is not in the best shape into this third place game here in Győr. Definitely Ukraine is getting closer and closer. Only 5 more points for the Ukrainian side, and they could do the same as their countrymates from the women's team, securing bronze. Well, stay with us just after this game. We will go into the two finals, gold medal games. First, Italy against the Netherlands in the women's tournament, and then Germany against Bosnia and Herzegovina for the very last game of this event in Győr. But first, we need to know if Ukraine is able to go for bronze in the men's event as well. Petrenchuk the back set. Horyakin. Well done, Goran Ristic not able to react properly after that block. Is this ball in? No, just out, just a bit too long. It's all about detail to have those serves in. And Bajic comes in for Ristic. Let's see if Djuric can have an ace in this game. It will not be for today. He doesn't have it, the proper depth in his serve. And Bajic back on the bench. He also always have the smile. We met with him in France a couple of weeks ago for the Silver Nations League. Always smiling, always having a nice word when you meet him in the venue. And Izmujic will try to do something. He serves on the libero. Bytchenko touched by the block. Good cover. Zvijanovic. Another free ball for Ukraine. On the line. Great dig, but Petrenchuk is there. This ball is back again. Petrenchuk for Bytchenko. Strong into the block. Good cover. Jesic. The ball did not came between the antennas. And Ukraine is only 2 points away from the bronze medal in this 2025 European Championships. Zvijanovic. Harlamov not able to control the block. He was well positioned, but then just how he orientated his block. Too much to the outside. Zoran Jesic. High ball on that reception. Harlamov with the tip. Jesic is there to cover. Good dig, Jesic. Dragisha Zoric digged as well. Another chance for him to the middle. No, he will not have a chance because Ristic is not able to have a good set, double touch. And here is the first match point for Ukraine. Petrenchuk. Reception from Mujic. Zvijanovic blocked by Harlamov. One more chance for him. And another monster block for Oleksiy Harlamov to secure the bronze medal for Ukraine. Both the women and the men's team of Ukraine will come back home with the bronze medal. Well played, 3 sets to 0. They had a solid game. Congrats to Serbia for playing well yesterday against Bosnia in the semi. Today against Ukraine. In the bronze medal game, it was not enough to go into the podium, but they had a very good run this year, finishing 4th of this European Championship. And we will be back with Ukraine later today on the podium with this bronze medal. Stay with us. In a few minutes, we will go into the gold medal game for the women's. The Netherlands against Italy. This should be starting around 2:30, sorry. We'll keep you updated, but you will be live with us on this Para Volley Europe YouTube channel. We'll be back soon for the game between the Netherlands and Italy. When we put it, we're on air. If you need to cough or something, if you want to drink, you just